What is going on, y'all? Side Perspectives, GeoFlux here. This is probably going to be one of the realest videos I've made. We have to be honest, right? I have to be honest. I have played myself so many times, and the reason I say this is because I have put myself in situations where it was obvious as clear that, okay, I'm not having my needs met. So I can't, because, and then instead of communicating it, I used to let it slide. I still kind of let it slide. I have gotten better at communicating and letting people know, hey, this ain't it. But here's also the thing, because people always want to say communication is the key. Communication is a part of the key, but it is not the key. And what I mean by that is, I have said the same thing to the same person numerous times, and things have not improved. And it's my fault because I'm the one that's going back, even though they're not meeting my standards, my needs aren't being met. I'm feeling, I'm getting that resentment feeling, that bitterness feeling, the depression. And granted, it isn't just this situation. It's a lot going on in my life, with my mom's health, my granny, making sure she's good, all of these anti-LGBT, anti-trans laws and legislations, working a job that's, overworked, underpaid. It's a lot going on, right? So it isn't just this, but it's also just, again, this can go into all aspects of life. I need to stop settling for things that are not good for my mental health and well-being, and my needs are not being met. I can't sit up and get mad at somebody because, they're taking advantage of a good thing. Or they're getting all of this energy, support, love, affection, resources out of me, and then I turn around and it's not reciprocated back. If that's the case, then why do I keep going back to what's not reciprocating? So I can't get mad at nobody but myself. I have to protect my energy, actually honor my own boundaries, respect my own boundaries, and realize this ain't it. Now, what was good about this time, and I keep talking about it, but what has been great about this is I took the time to get to know somebody. I took the time to be in the talking stage for 6 months, to technically be dating for 2 months. So I decided to put the time and energy into that. And no hard feelings to this person. They're a nice guy. They're just not the nice guy for me. And I'm not the nice guy for them. And I think that's another thing, instead of saying such and such is toxic or dysfunctional or narcissistic or a narcissist, sometimes it really is, you're not compatible. And a lot of times people are afraid to say that and to acknowledge that. You need to be compatible with the person that you're talking to or trying to be with, right? Like, you have to have some common ground. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be something that's common. Also, your needs also need to be met. You can't just be the one that's always doing and doing and doing. And again, you also have to realize, why are you doing and doing and doing if you see that the other person doesn't reciprocate? And maybe they do reciprocate, but they don't reciprocate in a way that you need. Which brings me to my next point. I have to start liking or loving people from their love language. Stop loving folks with your love language, because your love language may be something different from theirs. And while you're showing love through your love language, When they show love, it's from their love language. So you're not getting your needs met, and technically they're not getting their needs met. However, let's be real. If somebody got somebody that's always, bailing them out, or you sitting up buying gifts and cards and, going on dates and paying for everything, or initiating the date and looking at where to potentially take them and this, that, and the other, and then the other person never does that, you can't get mad because that's your love language, right? My love language is literally gifts. I'm just going to be honest. It's gifts and acts of service followed by quality time. However, the other person, I don't really know. I just feel like I personally put myself in situations where I'm constantly overpouring, overgiving, and then I end up drained and depleted. And it's just like this time around, again, when you're healing and you're working on self, you become self-aware to the point where you can no longer ignore your own bullshit. You can no longer excuse your own bullshit. I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, hey, you don't have to keep doing this. And this is your codependency. And this is you being passive aggressive. And this is you not speaking up. And this is you putting up with shit that you don't want. And again, you deserve better and more for yourself. And you can't get mad at others when you're the one putting yourself in the situation. And I have to tell myself that. Again, we had a conversation. I understood where he's coming from. He understands where I'm coming from. So again, there's no hard feelings. However, for me, I'm tired and I need to be replenished the way that I pour into other people. It's really just that simple. I can no longer do unbalanced, and that's really what it is, unequally yoked relationships. It is what it is. You're not on the same page with each other. And that is okay. You're not compatible. That is okay. Y'all can be friends, maybe. Associates, hang out, kick it, laugh, have fun. But all this other shit, no. Because it's one-sided. It's not compatible. It's unequally yoked. It is what it is. And also, people always want to say, you got to communicate. I've communicated wanting to go on dates. And the reason why I care a lot about dates, you can say it's superficial. You can say it's childish. You can say it's immature. You can say it's not that big of a deal. You tripping. However, as an intersex trans man, it's a big deal. Because a lot of times, people don't want to go on dates because they don't want to acknowledge that they're attracted to a trans person, that they're sleeping with a trans person, that they're having sex with a trans person, that they love a trans person. They don't want to admit that. That's why they always keep us behind closed doors. And that happens a lot. And I've experienced that a lot. So, and then, which brings me to my next question, or my next thing. And this is also my fault. My fault, my fault, my fault, my fault. I take complete accountability for this, right? So, it brings me to my next thing, which is why I was saying this 5 months ago. Take sex out of the equation and ask yourself, what do you really have going here with what's going on? Because a lot of times, the sex is great, it's great, or it feels good, or that's the only thing that y'all really be doing. Because y'all not dating. Dating, I mean, that's just it. And then it was a red flag anyways with being in a talking stage for 6 months. And then at the end of the day, they're monogamous, I'm non-monogamous. I like to do certain things in the bedroom. They don't like to do certain things in the bedroom. They have a totally different mindset on various topics. And it is what it is. You have to have some similarities, and it can't just be you being physically attracted to that person or sexually attracted to that person. At least for me, I can't do it anymore. whatever, right? And then again, I'm not getting sleep. I'm always, trying to make sure they're good. I'm putting their needs above mine. And on top of the fact that I have my family. And I just feel drained and depleted. And once I get to that, it's my fault because I'm doing these things. These are the actions I have taken. So the good thing is it ends on a good note because I communicated this to him and he took how many hours he needed to, think about it and consider what I'm coming from and blah, blah, blah. And then he wrote back and it was a good text. It was a very good text. And the fact that, thank you. Thank you. But I'm also going to say this. If you see that your needs are not being met, and I'm guilty of this because I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite here. I need to follow my own advice. I need to practice what I preach. I can take ownership. I can take accountability. This is my fault. If you see somebody, you're doing all of this, going above and beyond, and they're not doing the same thing, or you feel that it's not matched, you need to reevaluate why you're dealing with that person, and you need to act accordingly. You need to pull back. And it's okay with just being friends. It's okay with not being compatible, talking about it, and realizing, you know what? We're never going to have that, but we can be friends. And that's what I mean by it's better to create a bond with people. Because at least with the bond that could lead to friendship, when things like this take place, you can potentially still have a friend. Maybe not, but you may. Who knows? But you got to have boundaries and you got to know. So that's that. And again, I'm not mad at them. There's no harsh feelings between us, at least on my end. I just know for me, I can't do what I did 5 years ago. I don't have time for this. So that's just me. And then I'm tired. Like, I want a me. Let's just keep it real. I would like to date somebody that's like me, that really is like me. And that's real. And I just don't have time anymore, to be trying to do stuff. And then I'm not getting my needs met. And it's okay to recognize that. And you don't have to bash the other person or put the other person down or all this other shit. But you can acknowledge, this ain't that, and keep it moving. Now, hopefully, like I said, we can still be friends. But even then, you're not going to be doing the same stuff that you were doing prior, right? Again, boundary structure. And I'm going to be honest, some of us, including myself, we need a few days, 2 weeks to kind of decompress from the situation. And this is also why I'm big on, you need to hang out with other people when you're dating, or getting to know somebody. Like, you don't want to become isolated. And that's what I feel like a lot of times happens because you really like a person and you just want to be around them all the time. But then at the end of the day, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. And you need your rest. You have your own life. You have your own goals. And also, you deserve to be loved in your love language. You deserve to be loved the way you want to be loved. And you shouldn't have to keep having the same conversations about the same shit. And again, sex